so-called Orthodox Church of Ethiopia. And yeah, because they see a picture, but that was the time. That was a whole different time. It was a different time. You see, the good thing is this: that Christ, Jesus Christus, Getachin is the same. No. But see, Getachin. The good thing is that Getachin, Jesus Christus, is the same yesterday, today, and forever. But that church, man-made church, is not the same. So it's not the same church of Haile Selassie the First. The church that we see today, so-called Orthodox Church, is not Haile Selassie's church. So when you see in the pictures, you're looking at it historically. You understand? It's not actionable intelligence right there, but it's historical intelligence or information. You know what I'm saying? We can't act off of that in this day and time because the Imperial Majesty went to Wahido Beta Christian as the Ras or the Behir, the head of the church, as well as the head of state, the head of nation. But they've cut off their head. So if somebody cut off their head, they're headless. So the church is basically headless. Why would we want to go to a headless church or follow a headless church that actually committed suicide, cut off its own head? You know what I'm saying? Why would you? You know what I'm saying? That's the plain fact of people trying to dangle like His Majesty. You understand? Trying to dangle the image of His Majesty or the association of His Imperial Majesty in the Imperial Zemina. You understand? That was the Imperial, the Zemina and Negusa Neges. We're not in the Zemina and Negusa Neges. They cut off the King of Kings. You know what I'm saying? They cut off their head. So we don't want to follow someone headless. You know what I'm saying? Headless. If they have programs like amharic education and have his Bible available and other services like that, maybe they can come about, maybe perhaps to redeem, you understand, what the traitors did within the church. But there's still a whole heap of traitors up in there. So we don't want to follow a headless church, a church that don't got no head. Of course, some will say, oh, the head is Christ. Christ means Messiah. Messiah is anointed. His Imperial Majesty is anointed. And they would turn their backs on those things too. And it was the same church, the real church that did it. You understand? And they turned their backs on that. So we don't want to join no headless, follow no headless. Look like blind leading the blind. Both fall in the ditch. You understand? Or join so people can say, yes, now you're a real Ethiopian. Get on my face. And you're a sickie. So somebody want to tell me, I'm a real Ethiopian in their eyes. So what does that mean? That means I can open a bank account in Ethiopia? What? You know what I mean? That means you can give me back my Shashimani land that you took from me? You say, what does that mean to me? That you accept me as a real Ethiopian. What does that, how is that tangible, I think is the word I'm trying to find. How is that tangible? How is that relevant? How is that helpful, beneficial to me? You understand? Oh, you go someplace, Ethiopians will love you. And didn't they love His Majesty too? Right? They loved him at one time, right? It makes me very cautious. You understand? Very cautious. We can't just judge by appearances, man. Let's look at the righteousness. You understand? Then some people say, like, one brother was saying, oh yeah, his church, they are very tolerant of His Imperial Majesty. Well, whoopie-doo. One Ethiopian Orthodox church or another one is tolerant. They tolerate rastas. Ain't this something? They tolerate some nostalgia about His Imperial Majesty. And that's supposed to be bait. That's their sticky paper. That's the sticky paper they use. And while you'll get stuck, you'll be like, oh yeah, the priest, the Abba or something called some guy father and stuff like that. He never called Majesty father. Anyway, some priest has nice things to say, or one of the priests, oh yeah, this priest, he met Haile Selassie. He shook his hand. What you think? You think it's about rub off righteousness? Some of His Majesty's righteousness rubbed off on that priest, and now that priest touched you, so that rubs off on you. So you were touched by a priest that may have shooken His Imperial Majesty's hand or eyes have gazed upon him. What is this? Is this the teaching of Christ, or is this some superstition you're dealing with? Sounds like some superstition you're dealing with, right? Some sort of superstition. Now His Majesty went to the Orthodox Church, therefore you must go to the Orthodox Church. Sounds like some cult. That's how those cults speak to you.